Good morning. So I wanted to share about the Project Angel posts that I put up. I shared about human trafficking and torture, and that we need to end this, that there are people that are still slaves, even after being rescued. Their previous owners are still making money off of them. And I'm pausing because it's shocking and disturbing to even use words like their previous owner, as if one person can own another person. And sadly, it's happening all over the world and right here in Australia. It relates to my why. It relates to why I do what I do, why I am so passionate about bringing people in connection to their bodies, in connection to their spirits, in living in a way free from shame, free from the bonds of trauma, is because when we let those things live within us unchecked, it creates harm. And sure, you might not know anybody who owns another human. You might not know someone personally who's been rescued out of sex trafficking. But when we don't manage and address and move through our trauma, we contribute to the creation of harm. We harm ourselves, we harm our relationships, we harm the planet. It's all interconnected. And you might not ever get to a place where you're so disconnected from yourself that you deliberately torture another person. But what is it costing you to stay in your trauma? What is it costing you to stay stuck and silent because you are shamed? I think that someone who is torturing another human has to be so disconnected from themselves, has to be so fucked up in their trauma, in whatever happened in their life, or their sense of entitlement. Entitlement is also a pretty fucked up thing to live with, because with entitlement often comes the perpetuation of harm. So I've decided, I haven't even messaged Project Angel. I haven't even messaged them. But I woke up this morning in the early hours of the morning listening to the rain come on my roof. And I felt Spirit say, partner with Project Angel. And I've decided to give 10% of any course fees for people who work with me in dealing with their trauma and shedding their shame and stepping into their empowered, authentic voice. 10% of my upcoming course fees for Authentically You are going to go directly to the Project Angel to support them in rescuing people out of torture and trauma and sex trafficking and creating healing on our planet, because we desperately need it. If you want to work with me, if you want to actually fucking move through the shit that has been keeping you small, that has been keeping you from actually showing up in relationships the way that you want to show up in relationships, if you want to develop skillful, compassionate communication skills, I think most people know that fucked up communication fucks up relationships. So if you want to actually have compassionate, empowered, assertive communication that doesn't cause harm in your relationships, or at least minimizes the risk of harm, Authentically You is starting on the 3rd of January, 2022. I have an early bird price available until the 15th of December. And as I said, 10% of all of the course fees are going to be donated to the Project Angel.